Do you see anyone making these kind of buttons in your tutorials or anywhere in the YouTube or anywhere like Twitter or Instagram or anywhere that you have been searching for the inspiration of making it? If you doesn't see, no worry. I am here to teach you how to make this. So let's go to our tutorial part on how it was actually made. So we have came to our code as I have using right here. So the type basic boilerplate of HTML, and then the title as given it in the title as neon universe button with particles, and right here I have doesn't include the style css dot file and script dot css file. I have just included in the CSS and JavaScript in the particular HTML, so you can see right here I have included right here. So before going to CSS and JavaScript, before we shall look how we have created the particular structure of it. Okay, so let me go to the HTML code. You can see right here I have included the basically the part as canvas with the id as particles, and then I have used the button which will be have the class as button, and then I have given it an identity as combo button, and then I have given it an SGV for the sign that you have seen in the starting how it has been doing and working. Like you can check out right here, like this in the circle color, yet you can see an electricity would color has been showing. So let's go to our see to our code how it was actually written, and it has been written as by using an XML NS from the HTTP, and then the its organization which is the basically most of the time using, and then it's filled by the none, and then I have used the view box as 0024 24 24, and then stroke by the current color, and then add its path as stroke line cap as round for creating a circle, and line join will be also in the circle, and given it's in a stroke with as 2 so that it looks in a good lightning format, and then I have given the its design that you can see I have given it in it. That's how you can create in a particular that sign I have created. Okay, and then I have written in another span so that that particular sign and that neon universe span will came in the same line of that particular button, and as this is the part of the HTML. So let's go to our next part, which is the style CSS part. Okay, so for that we have defined the basically an root part as the for the particular part as the font family as inter and scan and face, and its background as black and then dark bluish. Okay, and then I have used the taken an HTML and body class. I have defined its height as 100%, then margin as 0, then overflow as hidden, and for giving the background as in a black and dark bluish background of the circular way, I have used the property of the background as the CSS as radiant grid, in which I have used the circle I have created in the 50-50% and use the two variables that I have defined before on the BGs, and display in the grid format and place it at the center. And then I have used the I have positioned the canvas, which will be have the position as absolute and top as 0 and left as 0, and it will be at the bottomest layer of that, as it will be containing the particles that we have seen in the start of the video or in the middle of it before. And then we have go to our main buttons part, CSS. Okay, so for that we have defined its position as relative, then we have positioned it to the 2 number by the z index, and then display it as inline flex, and then align item as justify content as center, and then gap as 12 pixel, padding as 18 pixel, 42 pixel, border will be as none, and then its border radius as 999 pixel, and then its font weight as 700. This figure can be changed according to your own needs, so you can experiment on it. And then font size as 18 pixel, and then cursor as pointer, and then overflow hidden as so that the particular thing doesn't overlap with another thing, and then color of the text as white, and then we have again used the gradient grid for the background, and then similar way like 30% and then its color as blue, dark blue, and little more dark blue, closer to purplish. Okay, and then I have used the text transform in the uppercase so that every text will become in the uppercase format, and then letter spacing as 1 pixel, and then translation as all, and then its second, and then its positioning of it as this I had defined. Okay, and then I have defined the box shadow as this 0025 and cyan, then 0070 pixel as Russian cyan, and then inside internal the little bit in cyan color. Okay, and then for the before the if the button has been not taken out or any animation which is the idle part, it will be taken as the normal way, so it's contained as the empty, and then the position of them as the absolute, and inside of it as the 0, and then border radius will be in it so that it goes to internal, and then its own glowing animation like you have seen the red, blue, basically colors, whatever color that you have seen before will be came through the linear grid, and then as you can see the cyan, pink, green, orange, and again cyan color, and then its background size will increase by 400% so that these animation of the colors that you have seen can be just came out. And we have created an animation as neon shift for the 6 seconds, and then in the infinite time loops, and then the opacity of it also 0.3 and z index is 0, and filter it by the blur as 8 pixels so that it looks in a neon color that is mainly prioritized in our way. And then the we have defined the animation as keyframes neon shift, and then you can see right here it has goes to 100% and then come back to normal and the 0. Okay, and then we have go to the after part of the button, which will be the content as 0, again nothing, and then position as absolute, inside as 2 pixel, and in it border radius, and then background gradient as similar before, and then we have the button span and button SGV part so that it can be used for the particular animation of it that you have seen. And then its position as relative and z index at 2. Button SGV will be having the width as a 22 pixel and height as 22 pixel. Its stroke width will be as 2.5. Stroke as the stroke color will be in the white paint color, and then the filter it by the drop shadow as 006 pixels in the cyan color, and then the given its animation as this way. Okay, and then for the hover effect of the SGB part, it will going to rotate it by the 25 degree and scale it by 0.3% plus, and then it will have an above top shadow. Okay, and at last we have added a last animation, which is the ripple animation. Particles and ripple and various type of animation will be done by the JavaScript that you will see in the after this. So for that, let's just check out the position as absolute, then border as this, then translate as this. You can see then its opacity as 0.85, and then pointed event as none, and then ripple animation had be set and out by an 900 ms, and then its positioning of them in the cubic region, and then its defining of colors and mix blend mode and screen, and then position them at the z index is 3 that you can see, and its animation has been defined right here. Okay, so let's go to our JavaScript part, how it has been done. Okay, so right here you can see I have used the combo button ID. It has taken it by the const button is equal to document get element by ID and take its ID from the button, and we had defined its colors like that way you can see right here, and I have set in a glow step part so that glow animation can be done in the good format way. Okay, and right here let's see how all of the animation that you will going to see has been established right here. Okay. For the ripple animation, I have added a button dot event add event listener, and it will going to point it down, then it will going to trigger an event in which a function is called. It will take a const rect is equal to button get bounding client rect, and then the ripple const will be take create an element as span right there, and it will going to name in a class as ripple right there, and its position of the will be defined as this way. Like you can see, it's in a main position divided by where it has been actually touched and its position, and then it's to the client, and minus by the rect the left side and the top side for the xy coordinate. Okay, and then its style left and top will be defined right here that you can see its number to the x pixel, and then the its y constant number will be given to the top side, and then the width part will be similar as the height, and its math this has been defined as the math dot max rect width comma rect height plus pixels, and then it will going to append a child and after a particular time it will going to remove it once it has been done. Okay, and then the neon pulses signed background lighting house has been done. So for that we have set an interval arrow function in which it has been increasing the glow step by 0.05 and const glow size as 40 plus math dot sign of the glow step into 60, so that is its own angle will be increased by the particular time and its colors has been math floor glow step into 2 divided by color length of that particular thing. And then we have defined its box shadow as this way. See, 0 0 glow size pixel and its color, and then 0 0 glow size into 1.3 pixel and color as this, and then insert glow size into 0.5 and color as this, and then background will also react. For the background reacting to the particular system we had defined it like this way. Background will also calculate the color as per the same button, and it will going to translate the background right there. And then we have the particles part, which you had been particularly seeing right here. Okay, so let's see how we have defined it. We have used in a campus and take its id as particles, and then we have used in the ctx canvas dot get context as 2D for that, and we have taken its, as it has been the 2D dimension, we can take the width and height is equal to canvas height and canvas width, then the window inner width is equal to window inner height of that particular part. And right here, as it has been for the particularly full screen, so we have defined it like 120 numbers. If you have the other way or having some issue in the devices, then you can change its number to the lower ones. Okay, and we have defined the particles right here. And for that, for the minimum and maximum part, we have used the random function, as it has been needed to be established the randomly across the full setup right there. And then we will going to return a value as math random into max by minus minimum plus minimum, so that it b goes to the parts. And we have then add in a class as particle, in which we have add in a constructor as this way. Those who have doesn't know the constructor, it is for the particularly defining the function which will be run every time. Okay, in a simple words. Right here we have defined another function as reset. It will going to reset its the random width and height of the xy coordinates, and then size will be 1 to 4, and its speed also will be randomized from this to this, the y side, and its color will be also randomized like this. You can see it, and and its own speed will be increased like particular times, and then its own particular, if it is not present, then it will going to reset it out, and then we had defined the draw function for drawing the particular dots and particles right there. And see it begin path ct x arc this x comma this y this size comma 0 comma pi with pi into 2, and then fill style as this dot color plus 77 ctx fill. And then we had defined the for loop for the particular particles, and then at the end we have created a particles push to the new particles part, and then for the animation running we had defined a function in which it will going to take in a ctx clear rect, and then the for const p of particles we're going to update and draw every time, and then if we're going to request a particular animation, and at the start of it it will also run it, and then it has been going to resize it by the window event listener resize every time. Okay, so that's it for today guys. If you guys enjoy it and like this how it has been made and created, so see ya, bye bye.